Good morning. Sun shines out, so we're going to have a nice session here, video recording. So I'm here, I've got a wheelie bin loaded with stuff. I've got a rod and some weights, and we're going to talk about these symbols: greater than, equals, less than. So reading from this side, we would say that A is greater than B. Using this one, we would say A is equals B, and for this one, A is less than B. So it points at the smaller. So A is less than B. In this case, this is the smaller. So A is greater than B. And if you've got them here, it's equals. So we're going to use this little setup. I have markers. This weight is 2.5 pounds. The second weight is 5 pounds. So this one is twice the size of this. This one is half the size of that. So when it comes to balancing, we'll do a quick balance. If I'm going to use this point here, want it to balance, if I do something like that, make sure it doesn't roll off, leave my hand, it balances nicely around this point. Now, where have I got this tube from? Well, you might recognise this. It's a broom. So this is a broom handle. Now I'm going to be upsizing and using bigger weights than these, because I want to. Objective of these sessions is to increase more numbers. So this one is 10 pounds. Now, because this is just a broom handle, quite honestly, the weight of it is fractional. Oh, right now I have an imbalance. So I've moved that one out, so this is greater. If I move this right to the very end, I get an imbalance, so now this is less, but I'm looking for the equals, so here we have it. So now I've got it in equilibrium. Just move out the way. So there's the marker, there's the L marker, so this is equilibrium. I'm going to up the size of the weights, and so because I want to up the size of the weights, I don't want to actually break this. This is not very strong, so I'm going to be introducing some metal rods I've got lying around. These are hollow, and therefore electrical wires go through and keep them safe when they're exposed. So I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to introduce you to this next piece of kit. Now this is significantly heavier. To show you just how heavy this is, I've put a bag of potatoes, a familiar weight for you. So this is a 10-pound bag of potatoes. If I slide it along to this point here, and if I reduce this, you can see that this is the heavy side. This is the lighter side. So if I move this weight out, I shall get back to the equilibrium. So now it's equals. This just helps me. If it was too much of a fine point, I would really be struggling to demonstrate the balances. But this gives me a bit of a broad pivot point, and it allows me to share what these are. So you're all familiar with potatoes. You may not be familiar with these weights, but you can see that this one weight is really quite heavy. If I introduce this other one that I was I held earlier, like this, get a major imbalance, but I can find the balance point again just by moving them in. So hanging here, this is the equivalent of lifting 20 pounds in weight, because I've got 2 10s right here. So I'm going to stop the video. I'm going to stop the video right there. I've introduced the pieces of equipment. I helped you identify that this 10-pound bag of potatoes, yep, this 10-pound bag of potatoes, which you have hauled from the shops many times, relates to these weights that I'm using. So pounds are a very old measurement system. We have two. It's known as the customary measurement system, and it dates back to Roman times and beyond. So this system of measurement has been around for more than 2,000 years. Probably the Egyptians played about with it, so that could make it a 3,000, 4,000 year old system. But we're just going to measure these things in pounds. It's still used today. It's known as the customary system, and I'll end the video there.